What if the reason you're unhappy isn't because something is wrong with your life? What if it's because your brain is working exactly as evolution intended? For most of human history, the people who survived weren't the happiest. They were the most alert, the most cautious, the ones who noticed the rustle in the bushes, assumed the worst, and lived long enough to have children. Which raises a strange possibility. What if happiness was never the goal? Today, most people spend their lives chasing happiness. We assume it's the natural state we're supposed to achieve. The reward waiting at the end of success. Get the promotion. Buy the house. Find the relationship. Earn enough money. Then you'll finally be happy. But there's a problem. Human beings have accomplished things that would have looked like magic to our ancestors. We have unlimited entertainment, instant communication, climate-controlled homes, and access to more information than entire ancient civilizations combined. Yet anxiety, stress, and dissatisfaction remain everywhere. Why? The answer begins roughly 300,000 years ago. For almost all of human history, life was uncertain. Food wasn't guaranteed. Predators were real. Injury could be fatal. A single mistake could mean death. Imagine you're walking across an African savanna 50,000 years ago. You hear a noise in the grass. Now you have two possible reactions. The first is optimism. It's probably nothing. The second is caution. It might be a predator. Which person survives longer? The cautious one. Every single time. This is the first key to understanding the human mind. Evolution doesn't reward happiness. It rewards survival. And survival often requires paying attention to problems. Researchers call this negativity bias. The tendency to notice threats more quickly than opportunities. Bad news grabs your attention faster than good news. Criticism sticks longer than compliments. One negative comment can outweigh 10 positive ones. This feels like a flaw. But for our ancestors, it was a superpower. The human who ignored danger became food. The human who worried about danger became a grandparent. Over thousands of generations, natural selection favored brains that constantly scan for potential threats. The result is the mind sitting inside your head right now. Think about that for a second. Your brain was not built for comfort. It was built for vigilance. But there's another problem. Even when humans eliminate one threat, the brain doesn't simply relax forever. It finds a new problem. And this brings us to one of evolution's most powerful tricks. Psychologists call it hedonic adaptation. The idea is simple. Humans quickly get used to improvements. Imagine one of your ancestors discovers a valley filled with food. For a few days, this is incredible. Stress drops. Life becomes easier. But eventually, that valley becomes normal. The brain stops treating it as a special advantage. Instead, attention shifts toward the next challenge. The next danger. The next opportunity. This tendency exists because permanent satisfaction would have been disastrous from an evolutionary perspective. Imagine a hunter who becomes completely content after one successful season. He stops paying attention. Stops improving. Stops preparing. Meanwhile, the environment changes. Winter arrives. Food becomes scarce. And suddenly his satisfaction becomes a liability. Natural selection favored people who kept striving. People who kept looking ahead. People who were never fully satisfied for very long. Which explains something many modern people experience. You finally achieve a goal you've spent years chasing. For a moment, it feels amazing. Then something strange happens. The feeling fades. The promotion becomes your normal job. The new car becomes your regular car. The dream house becomes the place you leave every morning. And your brain starts searching for the next target. Not because you're ungrateful. Because that's what the system was designed to do. But here's where things get interesting. For most of human history, this constant striving wasn't necessarily a problem. Ancient humans lived in environments that matched the brain's evolution gave them. Their challenges were immediate and real. Finding food. Protecting family. Navigating social relationships. The brain's survival machinery had somewhere useful to go. Modern life is different. Today, many people live safer lives than kings did a few centuries ago. Yet the ancient survival system remains active. The rustle in the grass has been replaced by unread emails. Financial worries. Social media comparisons. News alerts. Deadlines. The threats changed. The machinery didn't. Psychologists call this an evolutionary mismatch. A mismatch occurs when a trait that evolved for one environment gets dropped into a completely different one. Consider sugar. For ancient humans, sweet foods were rare and valuable. A strong desire for sugar helped people survive. Today, sugar is everywhere. The same instinct that once helped now contributes to health problems. The happiness system works in a similar way. Our brains evolved to pursue goals, not maintain permanent satisfaction. In small hunter-gatherer groups, that worked well. In a modern world filled with endless goals, endless comparisons, and endless stimulation, the same system can feel exhausting. Social media provides a perfect example. For most of history, humans compared themselves to maybe a few dozen people. Today, you can compare yourself to millions. Every day. Every hour. Every minute. Your brain treats these comparisons seriously because social status mattered enormously in ancient communities. Higher status often meant better access to resources, allies, and potential mates. The instinct remains. But now it's operating in an environment evolution never anticipated. And the result is a mind constantly measuring itself against impossible standards. But despite all of this, there's something important to understand. The story isn't that humans are doomed to be unhappy. The story is that happiness was never designed to be permanent. Think about emotions like weather. No one expects sunshine every hour of every day. Clouds are part of the system. Rain is part of the system. The same is true for human emotions. Evolution didn't create a machine for producing endless happiness. It created a machine for navigating reality. Sometimes that requires joy. Sometimes curiosity. Sometimes fear. Sometimes dissatisfaction. Each emotion serves a purpose. The problem begins when we expect happiness to be our default setting. Because then every normal human emotion starts to feel like evidence that something is wrong. But maybe nothing is wrong. Maybe your brain is doing exactly what 300,000 years of evolution shaped it to do. Maybe the feeling that something is missing isn't a bug. It's part of the operating system. For almost all of human history, that feeling pushed humans to explore new territory, invent new tools, form stronger alliances, and adapt to changing environments. It helped our ancestors survive. It helped build civilization. It helped create the modern world. The irony is that the same mechanism that built everything around us also makes lasting satisfaction difficult. So the next time you achieve something and the excitement fades, remember this. Your ancestors weren't selected for permanent happiness. They were selected for survival, for adaptation, for movement toward the next challenge. And the fact that you're never completely satisfied may not mean you're broken. It may simply mean you're human. The same ancient brain that once scanned the horizon for predators now scans your life for problems to solve. Different world. Same mind. And perhaps understanding that is the closest thing evolution ever gave us to peace.